Who are the coolest dudes on the planet?
United States veterans.
What's the coolest sport on the planet?
Pro wrestling.
And what would be the coolest podcast on the planet? That would be this one.
U.S. military vets talking pro wrestling.
This is the No Shave Man Cave. Two badass disabled vets sharing their love of pro wrestling, giving you their perspective as fans, talking about current events and matches, history of titles, and who knows what else. Let's do it.
Welcome to the No Shave Men Cave. Now your hosts, Ellie Jair and Jay Tilley.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, wrestling fans, and sports entertainment fans, welcome to the No Shave Man Cave. I'm Ellie Jair.
And I am the one and only Jay Tilley.
Yeah, we are live and nationwide, and we are talking to you, the nation, the Cave Nation, the fam, the whole thing, man. So what do you think? What's good?
Hey, man, Raw was good. I enjoyed it, and it's interesting because this is gonna be a good show because I am not usually the one that's high up on the Raws and the SmackDowns. And work today, you're like, oh, I hated Raw.
Man.
I'm like, really? I actually kind of enjoyed it.
I had to.
I thought
I had to go back and watch it again, and when I went back and watched it again, I picked up on so many things that made me go, man. You can feel some influence from outside. You can see, hey, we should try this. We should do some fun stuff with this. And then I tell you, like with the draft, I really think that the draft has kicked everybody in the butt on the rosters, the new folks, and the producers. Like, hey, we got to deliver. We went through all this trouble to have this draft. We gotta hit a home run. And yeah, the second go around, much better watch than the first.
Well, that's good, yeah, because I watched it and I thought the in-ring work was pretty decent. I wasn't as bored, for lack of a better term, as I usually am. I noticed myself picking up on little subtle things in the background. I love the Imperium, was the focus of the show. I love Paul Heyman sniveling in the background on scenes like you see him talking to, the Judgment Day before their match. And I even liked the opening. I thought the chemistry with the Judgment Day and KO and Sammy was fantastic.
Phenomenal, yeah.
You just want to fight? Get in here and fight.
Can I punch him in the face?
Priest's like, all right, let's fight. No, we're here to talk. I thought the opening was great. Probably a lot of it had to do with I like both acts a lot. Like El Generico and Kevin Owens are fantastic. So seeing them, I'm always like, all right, cool. And Judgment Day coming out, yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought the opening was good. And usually I'm kind of like, oh, here's 45 minutes of Welcome to Raw. Even if they're Cody promos, I tend to go,
What'd you think about?
I like it. I liked it set up for a finale or an end. The main event, I like it set up, but it up that too.
What'd you think about? Did you feel like Rhea was enough in that?
Rhea's always enough.
No, I don't think she's ever enough. Do you feel like she, as the women's champion, and a thing that I keep picking up on is they're still calling her the SmackDown champion, and she was still. I thought she was enough of a focal point. And then once we got to the match, I thought she played an extremely crucial role. And, like Dominic, dude, when Finn was like, talk to him, Dominic, and he acted like he was about to lift the mic, eviscerated by the crowd.
Yeah, I'm starting to think a lot of that's pumped in, though. So I made a point to kind of watch some of this last night, especially with Dominic. And yes, there are people booing, but nowhere near the amount of people that it sounds like should be booing if you watch the crowd. And I'm just like, but it's okay. I enjoyed it. If they're pumping it in, that's fine. It's fun. Yeah. Rhea throughout the night, you see Rhea interacting with Natasha, who she's going against at Night of Champions. You see a little snip of maybe her next program, which will be Becky Lynch.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, please. Mm-hmm. SummerSlam, Becky Lynch. I'm down for that. And she's also got all the Judgment Day stuff going on. Like this show overall, and I kind of talked about it before we came on air, and I see influences of I don't like doing this because people get mad, but almost like AEW is influencing the way WWE is starting to do their stuff. Now, I think you're right. I think Paul Heyman maybe has a little more freedom. I think Cody must have a little bit of a pencil or like a nub of a pencil or maybe just the eraser part. I don't know.
Maybe just like the piece of lead.
Yeah, I mean, maybe part of his deal coming in was he had a little bit of creative control. But I feel like that influence over the show because it wasn't just Rhea throughout the night in different aspects. It was the Judgment Day throughout the night in different aspects. It was KO and Sammy throughout the night, intertwining things, Imperium, and then Paul Heyman in the back doing all these things. The Battle Royal, JD McDonough, and then you got Finn Balor up in the corner watching him.
Man.
Like, oh, are we getting
Okay,
another Judgment Day person?
If we're going to talk about things that we noticed throughout the show, did you notice? So first off, did you have an issue with Paul Heyman being on Monday night?
No, he had a visitor badge.
So I picked up on the visitor badge on his phone, and I was like, this sneaky son of a
I thought that was
bitch.
pretty damn slick.
I was like, okay, so we've gotten around the draft, the second episode after the draft. Okay, but yes, he was drafted, but he's not an in-ring talent. Okay, so rewinding back to Friday Night SmackDown, do you think that Roman competing for the tag team championships is his way of being able to be on both shows to keep a story going with Cody?
Oh, it could be. Golly, I hope he doesn't win that tag team title, though.
I think it's like 99% he's walking away with.
So they're gonna hang the tag team titles on him, and then what? So I hope not.
Because he's already not defending the world title. Now he's not going to defend the tag team titles, and then he's not defending the Universal Undisputed Heavyweight Championship.
There's no way they win.
Of Champions, and then you're like, okay, who won Money in the Bank? It was
who's coming up to win it?
It was Austin Theory.
Oh yeah.
So now there's no current Money in the Bank that you can go, all right, I want to cash it in after the tag team match, and he comes in like, RKO's him or whatever, and it's just like, dude, so now you're not defending the world title, now you're not defending the tag team titles, and now you're going to try and make a play when Seth wins the World Heavyweight Championship at Night of Champions, because now there's an opportunity to have some interaction between. It's just like,
yeah, I don't see them. There's no way that Roman and Solo win that. And I don't know whether it's because the Usos get involved or maybe Solo takes the pin and now Roman starts turning on Solo a little bit. And then you build up kind of a, maybe next Friday he's in the ring and he's yelling at Solo and it's your fault you cost us in. And he maybe pie face Solo and then the Usos jump him. So now you've got the Usos and Solo turning on Roman. I don't know. There's him being a part-timer. I don't see any reason to give him those belts because we all know he's going part-time. So now you've given him these belts and we're just not going to defend those either? Are we going to come up with another secondary prize later down the road?
Terrible.
If they put the belts on him, I wouldn't be surprised if they hot potato him. Like he gets them and then something happens and he loses them on Friday, or he gets them and on Raw he comes out and gets challenged by the Street Profits. I don't know. It's WWE, so anything's possible. Like they could put it on him and go, hey, we're going to give him a 1,000-day run as tag team champions now. But yeah, I would hope not. I don't see Sammy and KO losing it just yet. I think I love the promo with Sammy talking about how now they get to go after Roman. They can get their revenge on Roman. It's all about Roman. Yeah. So I think that's going to play a lot into it. And I think Solo takes the pin. I'd be very surprised if Roman does. I don't think he's been pinned since he became champion. So I say Solo takes the pin. And yeah, it turns down into more of this leading down the road of the bloodline breaking up more and more things happening through the bloodline with the three brothers versus Roman. Now, whether Roman brings in more people to back him up, I don't know what'll come off of all that. But
so I just see, even if it's some kind of chintzy count out, double count out, something, and then the fallout will be the following week. I think it's in New York, in Albany, the Monday Night Raw. So the fallout of them not winning. Do we see Afa and Sika? Do we see Rikishi? Do we see some kind of, the rising of the Ayanoi family, with all the heat surrounding The Rock? I I think
what
WrestleMania
is up with
40
that?
is dead. So the Rock is accused. The trial still pending or whatever, but he's been accused of all of this crazy stuff that is totaled. The lawsuit is $3 billion to the point where
That's the one about the kidnapping and all this other that's so weird.
Disney,
Like the fact that that's even making news is weird.
So Disney has distanced themselves, and what is it, the MCU or whatever, Disney Plus, Paramount,
DC,
everything. They've like absolved themselves of anything The Rock. So here we are. It's strange times.
Aren't there like 15 other plaintiffs in that lawsuit?
Yeah.
There was a bunch of people in it.
Yeah, a lot of them. So, but I think we'll see a hokey finish that keeps the titles on the current champions, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, but with the with all of the action surrounding the ring at the end, something is going to have to come to fruition. But I think this bloodline thing, there's some legs. There's a lot of legs, because now you can, if you go to, you go grab, Sam, I think his name is Sam, and he's over in New Japan. There's another Fatu over in MLW. His contract is almost up. He's built much like Solo, and he's been a long-running MLW champion, so he's got some reps. Could use 6 months or so down at the PC, but it wouldn't take long for him to get camera ready for WWE. So that's whew. So there's a lot there.
I know who you mean in New Japan. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he's working on an open contract right now. He's not actually contracted, so he is someone that could show up at name the place. So yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, he beat my guy Machine Gun for that Never Open Championship, and now he's on an open deal. So we'll see what comes of it. So I think there's a lot of business to be done. The crowd was really into it. North Carolina, the Carolinas, Georgia, Virginia, certain areas of Virginia, great wrestling, great wrestling town. And, the crowd was, I was feeling the crowd the second time I watched it. And I don't know why I wasn't feeling it the first time. And I'm glad we talked about it, and I went back and watched it again.
I love the Starcade reference from Cody too. I think Cody's promo was a Cody promo. Man, I don't know. I'm not into this Brock Lesnar thing. I wasn't into the first match, and I'm still not into it. So it'll be what it's going to be. I understand what they're trying to do. They're going to put Cody over as the new gatekeeper and push Brock out. But what does Brock do next? Who does he feud with next? So yeah, that is what it is. It was all right. I do like the interaction with him and Sammy and KO. I don't think that was for nothing, because last week they came in to check on him after the attack, and then didn't he come in at the end of the show to save them?
And they had a dark match afterward too.
So your idea of Roman and Cody on the same trajectory, I could see that playing into maybe some of the Night of Champions stuff. Well, maybe not. He's going to have his hands full with Brock. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with it. It'll be interesting to see. I'll say I'm intrigued, which I don't often say about some of the WWE stuff. So, like I said, this show had a lot of little things where I was like, ooh.
Yes. Yeah. The little camera angles, the comments, I love when Cody was talking about the Starcade reference, when he was talking about, how he was the one who put how's your face? I was the one, who put it there, where Brock Lesnar last week said, you got lucky. You lucked into that win, so now you've got some sprinkles of doubt, but then now you're rolling into, after this battle, the main event, you're going to roll into Night of Champions after that match. Like, plus what happened on Friday night, as you build up to, Night of Champions, there's so much going on. The injury to Liv Morgan, I think that'll be super interesting as we move the storyline farther along. Liv Morgan is the the women's division, and she leaves her partner out there to sort of hang. And I wanted to see Raquel as a heel because that was her character in NXT, and I just think she'd be a much better heel. And then she gets thumped by Rousey and Baszler, and I think Baszler should have had a title on her a damn year ago. And I think the way she carries herself, she's just destined to be a champion. She shouldn't be. I think she's going to be a 3-time tag team champion after Night of Champions. But yeah, I think that beatdown could have been a little bit different, but it got the job done. And yeah, I think I'm just waiting to hear what you thought about your favorite type of match.
Oh, the Battle Royal. Actually, I didn't hate this one. I thought they did some inventive things in it. I did not see the outcome. I did not see Mustafa Ali. Did not see him winning that. I liked some of the combinations they teased us with, and I liked the Gargano. Like, there were some interactions that I enjoyed, but yeah, I still am not a huge fan of it. I didn't hate this one as much as other ones, but I'm still was kind of like, all right, it's a Battle Royal. But I think Positive Ali and Gunther, Positive Ali's going to get his ass beat.
Ali. Oh.
Yeah,
I hope his kids are going to feel the chops. It's going to be gnarly.
Man.
He's going to get turned inside out. Hopefully it's not a squash match, because that's a long-ass fight for a squash match.
Yeah, I think it'll be one of those Styles Makes Fights. A little, not to bring him up again on a WWE talk, but a little AEW Tony Khan booking where you've got like Rey Fenix and Claudio. Like, I almost think, Triple H said, hey, that worked really good.
That'd be a smart
Let's
booking,
do Ali versus Gunther. It's the same styles, so you could do that same style of match, and it would work well, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think that'd be very smart booking. I think it would make a lot of money, and it would make both people, because you're going to make Gunther look stronger, but then you're going to make Ali look like he's worthy almost. So you don't have to, both parties can move forward. Someone doesn't have to get buried in order to make someone. So that's a good, that's really good. What I liked about the Battle Royal was the fact that you had superstars that hadn't interacted before or hadn't interacted in a while, and then all of a sudden they're tussling and people were getting thrown out all over the place. And then when you saw Bronson Reed get thrown out against when he was locked up with I always want to say Prince Puma. Ricochet. That could be a cool story. I don't want to see Bronson Reed in a tag team. I think Mr. Nice Guy needs to be a standalone character. So I can't quite figure out how to get Bronson Reed and Ricochet into a program without involving Braun Strowman. But I think there's some legs there, so I think that'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, it was good.
I agree. It showed some pairings that made me want to see more, which is cool. What did you think of the Shinsuke Miz match?
I love this new iteration of Shinsuke, and I originally thought that we were going to see Shinsuke against Roman because I thought he was going to get drafted to Friday night.
Well, and they started a storyline.
Or stay on Friday.
That they just dropped.
And yeah, they were like, oh, never mind. Next slide. So I'd like to see Shinsuke in a long-term program to where the crowd could start to build, whether you're going to love him or hate him. I think Miz is where he's going to be for the remainder of his career. I don't think he'll win another title again unless, someone lucks into a tag team with him. He may win the tag team championships. That's if they split him up. But if they keep him unified, I don't think he'll see a title unless I'm trying to think of how they would do it. Yeah, it wouldn't make sense to send him down to NXT because he's main roster. So I think he'll
go to AEW. Just kidding. Totally kidding. That's a big joke.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
Your face there.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I think Miz is WWE through and 100%. Through, and he is where he is. He'll sign a couple more TV deals. But yeah, I liked the match. It was a good sort of reintroduction to Shinsuke, and I hope this is building toward a long-term program for Shinsuke, because this guy, man, he just needs to be... Okay, so if they could get everything put together with Drew McIntyre, I would love to see Drew McIntyre and Shinsuke in a long-term program. Gunther ends up dropping the Intercontinental title, and then Drew McIntyre and Shinsuke are in a program for the Intercontinental title while Gunther is competing with Seth Rollins for the world title, or something along those lines. I think that would be...
You don't think
money.
Gunther's going to drop at Night of Champions, do you? Yeah, I don't think so either. I think he's going to... I don't think it's time to pull the trigger on him and Rollins yet, but it's coming for sure.
No, I think I'm trying to think of who would be a good first challenger for Seth.
Oh, I bet it's with Damian Priest. That's my guess.
Okay. Yeah, so he gets through Damian, but then because now you've got... So then that leaves Finn. Oh, but hey, so there we go.
Yeah, Finn and Dom are going to want to go for the tag team titles.
So now we add JD McDonough.
Yep. I hadn't gotten to that part yet, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, so that totally... And now I think you could elevate Finn back up to the top of the card after Damian Priest. Damian Priest then competes with whoever wins the Intercontinental title off of Gunther, because you're not going to have Priest and Gunther, although that would be an awesome match if there was some kind of internal strife amongst the Judgment Day. Oh, man. And then, you had a really, really good match with Dominic and...
Xavier Woods. Yep.
Xavier
I wanted
Woods.
to talk about that too.
I always want to call him Creed. So, yeah, I mean, there's so much that could happen.
I think that match leads into something that I've been talking about since the draft, and I think you're going to eventually get the Judgment Day versus the New Day. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Judgment Day end up winning the tag titles, and then the New Day down the road are the ones that take it from them.
So you think you would you're going to put the Judgment Day, or you're going to put the New Day back in the tag team title picture. So do you split the tag team titles?
I think they have to eventually.
Or do you keep a unified?
If they're going to keep it unified, I would keep it unified. Just give them one belt. Like, they don't need 4 belts. Give them 2 belts.
Yeah, I'm over they need to unify. So at Night of Champions, it's going to be a count out or some kind of hokey finish. So you're going to have to wait till Monday night after Night of Champions when you produce
the new tag belts,
or you present the new tag team titles. Then there we go. So night after Night of Champions, that Monday and that Friday, you get the new Monday Night Raw women's title. You get the unified undisputed tag team championships, or here's the Monday championships, here's the Friday championships. Friday night, you get the new women's heavyweight champion, or
whatever
new women's championship, and then you get the new Friday night tag team championships, and they're going to hold a tag team tournament or whatever. And now we no longer have to have this weird, okay, quit calling me the SmackDown champion, quit calling me the Raw, Monday Night Raw, and okay. Yeah, I think we're moving the needle a little bit. We've got a couple of pending re-emerging superstars when Flair shows back up, and we're not going to see Lita for a little while. Trish and Becky will be embroiled in a story that was a good promo.
Yeah. So do you think Becky and... See, I don't think the Becky and Trish thing is going to be a long promo. I'm almost thinking it's going to be one and done at Night of Champions. And I think you're going to roll into a Becky Rhea program, because they hinted at it on this show. Becky made a comment in her promo about it being her show and this and that. Then you see the cutback and it's Rhea watching it, kind of shaking her head no. I have a feeling that, I might be wrong. Maybe Trish won't be a one and done, but I've just got that feeling. She doesn't feel like she's going to be there much longer. Like, maybe she's going to be through SummerSlam, so they'll do a couple more.
Yeah, I was thinking through SummerSlam would be...
Yeah, but you're talking...
Probably the gist of it, but yeah.
July, so 3 more months of that. And so who do you build up for Rhea to take on at SummerSlam, if not Becky? So it won't be Ronda and Shayna Baszler like I had hoped, because they're going to be going for the tag team titles.
Yeah, so they take the tag team titles off of Liv and Raquel, and then Raquel straps up and goes against, well, now she's strapless, but then she goes against Rhea, but then you got to build her, and coming off of a loss, is she worthy?
I wouldn't say she's not worthy. I just think she's still a little green to go in and carry or be in a good match. Natalia's going to be a one and done. I don't think there's going to be much from Natalya.
Natalya might get 2, but I think you're right. I think she's sort of the, kind of like you said with the gatekeeper thing. Do you get someone that comes up as part of the draft?
So I don't know.
I don't think
Indy Hartwell's.
I don't think you'd catapult. Yeah, I don't know her
injury status,
Achilles foot heel situation. Yeah, so that'd be a lot of fun. Have them, a couple of Aussies tangling.
Yeah. I'd like to see them tangle,
and then they.
Woo!
That I want you to make weird. Hey-o. But yeah, that and I what would be really cool is if they did like an international show and just the international flavor of the WWE right now, and I think that would be really cool. Just the explosion in Puerto Rico for Zelina and Priest. Like,
let's go to Ireland, baby.
I think
or
that's
Australia.
phenomenal.
I'm down. No Shave Man Cave on the road. Yeah. Global travelers.
There it is.
Need to get out of our 9-to-5 job.
Heck yeah.
For our fans out there, buy me a coffee.
Yeah, buy me a coffee.
Buy me a coffee.
Come on, I need
like $10,000 would be cool.
Yeah, let's go.
Cool. And then, so we've talked about it a little bit here and there, but all the stuff backstage was cool to me. And I don't know if it's been happening all along and I've just never paid attention. I don't think so. I remember a little bit of it here and there, like the Bray Wyatt stuff when he was doing it, and that took off and did pretty well. Then there were a couple little things here and there, but this is the first time I remembered so much of it. Like, you've got Becky walking into the ring, and in the background, you see Paul Heyman talking to the Judgment Day. Then you've got Imperium walking up, and you see a hand come out and shake their hands, and it pulls back, and it's Paul Heyman.
Dude.
So it's like, all right, now we're setting that up. JD McDonough talking about Irish Ace and all this other stuff, and he's walking away, and it pans out, and Finn Balor's kind of watching him going,
Up in the top. That was
so now we're looking at possibly another person of the Judgment. Like, there was a lot of things. Cody in the backstage, with the KO and Sami Zayn. I really enjoyed KO and Sami sitting there and Imperium walking in. And like, KO's like, what are you doing here?
What is this?
Why do you keep coming up and creeping on us? Yeah, I thought that was like, there's a lot of chemistry between those two or four. So I'm hoping after the Judgment Day run, Imperium get a good little run with KO and Sami too, because they're having a lot of fun. And I still think that maybe Imperium's the one who takes the tag titles. I don't know. They've set up for next week. Is it next week or after Night of Champions? So I'm all confused now. Basically, they're taking on Imperium and the Judgment Day after Night of Champions, if I remember correctly. So they've got those matches set up, which I think will be good. Man, I'm actually kind of excited about Raw, man. Imperium, like, when the New Day gets back with Easy, Big E, and Kofi, like, you could almost set up a trios championship on damn Raw, because they've got a couple really good trios, and I'm like, man, maybe that's what they're getting ready to do. I don't know, but
so they take the tag team titles over to Friday night. They put the trios titles over on Monday, and you get the two different types of shows. And that would be, man. Yeah, I really liked the Judgment Day. I think is really hitting on all cylinders. I don't know, like, if it were me and I get, we don't want an act to become stale. Are you just going to throw JD McDonough in just so it doesn't go stale? Or because you're going to jump someone out and then, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure who they unless JD McDonough gets in there and then leaves on his own, because he's like, why am I with this doofus? Talking about Dominic Mysterio or something. But what I think is interesting, and I didn't really think about it until I just said the trios thing, is factions in wrestling make wrestling better. Because you look at back when I wasn't watching WWE, there wasn't a whole lot of faction stuff, and now AEW started. New Japan is big on it. AEW brought it back with the Elite, BCC, Dark Order, QT's crew, like all this people, and now WWE's starting to do it.
QTV.
I know. I didn't say they're all good factions, but House of Black. And now you've got,
oh my God, House of Black. Those titles.
I need to find out. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look at how to get one of those, because I might add that to my collection. I don't have the big money like you.
I get my titles in a couple days. I can't wait.
I don't have the crazy money for titles like you do. I just bought a damn Peloton, so I'm good for now. Yeah.
Let's go. Well, you'll at least be in shape. I'll have a belt.
That way these belts might fit around
Hopefully
my fat ass.
me. I was going to say, hopefully mine will fit.
We'll start wearing them on the shows. But
yeah, man. Yeah, I ordered some pretty slick belts.
I'm jealous of your Cody one.
One belt that I cannot wait to see presented and elevated and defended night after night is the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And after listening to episode 1 of that interview with Corey Graves, I really think that this is going to be a World Heavyweight Championship, much like what we've talked about before. Like, what was the World TV title? What was, like if you were to see, a championship that is defended every single week all over the world. I think the WWE World Heavyweight Championship is something that people are going to talk about for years to come as a representation of professional wrestling inside the WWE, more than just sports entertainment and the titles that Roman held.
Yeah, I hope they don't get lazy with it. I hope they treat it like a workhorse title. I hope they do it like Orange Cassidy's doing with the Intercontinental or International title.
Ooh, that's a good comparison.
Like,
yeah,
Orange is out there defending it almost every week. And I say this all the time. I don't want to compare the two, but this is a good comparison. Like they need to do it like this.
Oh, very good. Yeah,
because you look at Roman and MJF. MJF wrestled 6 times last year, and not taking it away from him. He's amazing in the ring and he's great on the mic. And same with Roman. So I like the idea of like that big title being that way. But I think this one, because their Intercontinental title isn't a workhorse title, their U.S. title is not a workhorse title. So making this a workhorse title where they're defending it every Monday night on Raw, whether it's you're building a feud and then maybe the feud becomes something for a pay-per-view, or you're just open challenging every night. Kind of like what John Cena did with the U.S. title back in the day. Like, I think that would be really good.
Yeah.
And if that's what they're going to do, Seth Rollins is probably the right move. He's there every Monday anyway. He's almost wrestling all the time. Don't think they're going to put it on AJ because they're not going to pull AJ from, which I guess we'll get all this in when we do the our review for Night of Champions, which, won't even be here for. I'm going to have to solo all that myself.
That's such a subject. I'll be in Barbados. No big deal. I thought it was Bermuda this whole time. I'm going to be in Barbados.
Same thing. That's a B. That'd be whatever. I think we have listeners in Barbados, actually.
There it is. Let me make sure I've got my interwebs ready to go. I will have the internet package, and I will be dropping shorts as often as I possibly can.
So sorry.
Not my shorts. I'll be doing interviews on the ship.
Do you like professional wrestling? Let me talk at you. Let me talk to you. Yeah.
Let me talk to you. Yeah.
Speaking of...
man, I can't wait till Friday. I love LA Knight, man. God.
And with the new leak coming out about how WWE is stacking their talent, he's like up there with their top heels. So that ought to be good. But speaking of interview, man, we'll be in June interviewing one of the... I think he's ranked number 450 on the PWI. So with the River City Wrestling Con coming to town, my boy Bougie is going to be out there as performing, and we've already connected with him. So look for that coming down in the future. We'll get closer and closer to that as it gets time. But back to the show. I totally lost track of what we were talking about, other than you dropping your shorts and going.
Yeah, so I won't be there for Night of Champions. And that weekend is totally packed, too. We've got Impact, we've got AEW, we've got WWE. Night of Champions, you're going to see the WWE World Heavyweight Champion crowned. You're going to see the Intercontinental Championship defended. Gunther against Positive Ali. You're going to see the United States Champion defend against... right now it's TBD, so we'll see what happens with that. So like a little caveat, I think eventually Gunther and Matt Riddle hop into a program. So I think Matt Riddle will be the 6th man for next week's show. So I think
maybe Matt's the one that's going to get the Intercontinental title. That makes sense.
Yeah, and then you can send Gunther on to pursue the World Heavyweight Championship. And but Gunther looks every bit the champion. I really think that whole faction, the way they carry themselves, the whole shticky jerk-ass heel, like, whew, man. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. I think The Battle Royal really moved some storylines together, and I am dying and chomping at the bit and scouring for information on what they're going to do with Baron Corbin, because this cannot be the death of Baron Corbin. This is merely, he's going to rise out of the ashes like Phoenix, and just, he's going to be something in 2023.
I hope so. I mean, so the rumors are all that there's going to be another round of big cuts coming from WWE, and I'm hoping his name's not on it. However, I could see him going to a place like AEW and making a name for himself, or Impact, or TNA.
Oh my God, he'd be so great
NWA.
in
Yeah,
Impact.
like I could
God,
see
he'd be
him
so great in Impact.
revamping his character and going somewhere and doing something new. And I said AEW, but it wouldn't be bad. Like I could actually see him doing pretty well in AEW.
I just wouldn't want to see him go to Ring of Honor, because he doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't fit.
I don't like if they're gonna produce the show like Ring of Honor used to be. I like Baron Corbin and Steve Macklin in a program. Baron Corbin and Eddie Edwards in a program. Baron Corbin. Well, I mean, he could. I think he would do. I think he would sell really, really well in Japan too. I mean, in New Japan. I think him. Oh my God, him and Archer.
Oh, make him a tag team.
Oh my God.
Oh, that would be good stuff.
Wow, the hawk and the wolf. Sheesh, the wild animals, man. They would be.
That would be really good.
Golly, that
I
would
miss
be
Archer.
a monster of a tag
I miss
team.
Archer on my TV.
Yeah, he's over in New Japan doing some tournament IWGP US championship stuff. So we'll see. Yeah, hopefully Baron Corbin isn't part of it. The Battle Royal, I felt like it moved some storylines along. What did you think about how Chelsea Green looked in the Raquel Rodriguez match? Did it make her? I don't think it broke her. But what did that do for you?
Nothing. Like it was not memorable to me. So
yeah, it
just happened on my TV screen. Like I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was a bad match. I mean, yeah, it didn't register. The attack afterwards registered more, and not that it was a great attack, but I remember going ooh, because I wasn't expecting it. Whereas the match itself, I kind of went the way I thought it was going to go, and I was okay with it. Yeah, it didn't. I don't think it hurt or helped either one of them.
Yeah, I thought the match just kind of happened, and it was a way to get Raquel Rodriguez in the ring in front of the fans in order to get jumped. And I don't know that I wanted to see a chair or anything, but they used a chair to go after the arm that had originally been injured months ago. I think that would have tied in together, because this whole show really tied things together. And Paul Heyman with the visitor's badge, and
there's a lot more thought into this show.
Yeah, I really, that's a great word. I really think they thought through what they were going to do, and they wanted to make sense of things.
I wonder if Vince was sick. No rewrites, because it felt. I mean, but it felt like that, right? It felt like a show.
Yeah.
To me, it felt like a show they sat down last week, wrote out, tying things together, and went, all right, let's keep our fingers crossed the old accused rapist doesn't get a hold of this. Hey guys, he hasn't called yet. All right, go. And it came off really well.
5, 4, 3, 2, cameras live and action. All right.
Hey, Vince is going, shut up, lose your phone. Like I was talking about being the elite earlier, where Matt Jackson takes the phone and he destroys it. I can see Triple H's phone sitting on his desk and he's doing something, and one of the guys just comes by and kind of goes, oh man, I haven't heard from Vinnie Mac all night tonight. We're just going to keep going.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Yeah,
but
that's awesome.
I felt like there was a lot of thought and purposeful things that happened on this Raw, which is not something I usually say about Raw. Usually it's just, why are they fighting? Why are we having this match? I don't care. It's 50-50, but I didn't feel like any of that this time. And maybe that's why I enjoyed it so much. I felt like this was more structured, more tying things together, the back behind the scenes little nuggets they dropped in. I thought it was really good. But I know one of the reasons you brought up Chelsea Green is because you wanted to talk something about her assets. There's something you wanted to bring up. You said it on the prep show.
So I'm a huge fan of Matt Cardona. You habooed me, hook a brother up, and I don't know if you can see it. I've got my autographed figure is up behind me, Matt Cardona, and I was watching this whole Matt Cardona Chronicle kind of a thing, and they went through some of the appearances that Chelsea had made, and she had this black gear on, and last night the gear she was wearing looked very similar to the gear that she was wearing at the Showboat, which I guess GCW is going to be done appearing at the Showboat. But the black gear that she was wearing was very complimentary,
cosmetically pleasing,
cosmetically pleasing, and no, I was hoping she'd get the win. I didn't think she would, but yeah, I thought the match got the job done. She is a freaking riot, and
her character's great.
And it seems like every now and then you get these like inklings that Matt Cardona is going to show up, and man, if he pops back up in the WWE, I hope they do some kind of a thing like what they've done with Cody, and they just let Matt be Matt, and he'd have to temper it down a little bit because he won't be the indie god anymore. He'll be Matt Cardona. You don't have to get ready because you are ready or something, but yeah, dude, it's yeah, she was doing all right. Yeah. and we're back.
So the closing angle of the show was the tag team match with the Judgment Day and KO and Sammy.
Oh my god.
And then just everybody and their brother gets involved and starts attacking. Fantastic stuff. Cody comes out to make the save. Yeah, again, like I said, this whole show, they did a fantastic job of laying the pieces out, telling a story throughout.
Keeping everything tied together so it wasn't like a series of parallel events. What did you think of Kevin Owens when he was avoiding all the attacks and then he slipped under the clothesline from Rhea and then jumped back in the ring? I was like, let's go. And I thought they were actually going to get the win. And that's what you want. You want to believe. And then when you get swerved, you're like, dude, you got me. All right, you win. So WWE got a win last night. And I really appreciate the trailer. Vince, I don't want to say on life support, but not available for interviews. Triple H and the crew did a great job. Cody cutting that promo, talking about Starrcade, and, maybe we get the NXT version of Starrcade. It ends up, they do it in that same arena. I think that would be kind of cool if they could, tie it all back together.
What was Starrcade just clicked me. What was the kind of match that happened at Starrcade that was, was it the scaffold match? Okay, never mind. I was trying to think if
that and Battlegrounds.
I was trying to think if there was significance to the Starrcade.
Bunkhouse Brawl and
I thought maybe there was significance to that. Was there a dog collar match or some kind of match that Starrcade made famous that in that arena, and that's what he was hinting at for the Brock Lesnar match. But maybe not. Maybe he was just talking about Starrcade.
Dude, the I Quit match.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe they'll do an I Quit.
Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard when Baby Doll.
I need to watch that.
Threw the chair over.
A lot.
Man, Maggie May.
Man, I'll have to check that one
He
out.
ended up catching the chair. Snap. And he was digging and he snapped the bottom rung off, and he started I
almost feel like I've seen it because you bring it up every time we talk about I Quit matches.
Man, that was a good one.
Yeah, I'll have to check that one out. I don't know. I just thought maybe there's some significance to it. But yeah, overall, it was a really good Raw. I enjoyed it. I think I gave it one of my highest Raw ratings that we've done probably since we started doing this show, and I went with 3.5, almost 4.
Yeah,
but I got a little annoyed with the Seth Rollins vignettes, like the videos and all that. I'm like, I don't like that part. Bothered me. I don't want to say bothered me. Bored me, so I ended up fast forwarding through.
It was just
I ended
too
up
much,
fast forwarding most of it, so that
enough is
deducted
enough,
a little bit. I would have preferred if they did one of AJ and one of him, but for it to be all.
Oh, that would have been good.
All Seth Rollins to me was like, okay, let's just throw it right up in my face that he's going to be the winner.
So you take AEW where they did the 4 pillars, everybody got a vignette, and you could have done the same exact thing and done, where AJ Styles started in the Indies, gotten permission to use some of the Impact TNA, him holding the NWA title, him holding that the original TNA title was awesome. It looked sort of like the 5th generation of the IWGP, and now it shows up and then him showing up for the Royal Rumble that year. Whoo! But yeah, I think they could have been a little more subtle with who's going to go over and who's going to get over. But I think I'm super excited to see a WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and I think Night of Champions is going to be something else. And the fact that Sami Zayn of Syrian descent will make his way to Saudi Arabia,
that's a big deal,
along with his brother from another mother, Kevin Owens, and defend those WWE Tag Team Championships is extremely, extremely significant. So gotta get that money.
Speaking about getting that money, we need you all to help us get that money. So please, wherever you get your podcasts from, or actually let's start it over because we're doing YouTube Live right now. If you're watching this now, make sure you subscribe. It's somewhere down below there. Subscribe, do the like thing, give us a thumbs up so we can build that algorithm so we can keep going, get monetized here on the YouTubes. And anywhere you get your podcast from, it's not live on podcast, but we'll drop it anyway. So No Shave Man Cave on Apple and Google and Amazon and Podbean and Acast, who host our podcast. So really appreciate them. It used to be the New York City Podcast Network. Now I think it's the Worldwide Podcast Network. Shout out to those guys and gals up there for all the help they gave us to get started. Appreciate everything. Follow us on all our social medias, No Shave Man Cave, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. And again, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. Just hit subscribe, follow up on us, and you'll get notifications when we come out with our live shows. And speaking of live shows, we'll be back on Thursday night live to do our review of Dynamite. And then Saturday over there on the Fantasy Sports Corporation, we'll be there wrestling dudes on Saturday to talk wrestling this week in review and whatever else we feel like talking about. With that, it's time for the Marine to take us out after the hot tag.
Bump and feeds. Hey, thank you so much for the 32,000 plus downloads. Super, super humbled by all the love and support. Thank you to the Fantasy Sports Corp for nothing but love, and to the Worldwide Podcast Network for getting us to where we are. We wouldn't be here without your support. We would, but it'd be just the two of us. So thank you so much. To our brothers and sisters in arms, thank you so much for your service. Some gave all, and all gave some. So total tribute to you and what you do. Your families also. Much love for what you're doing. So until next time, friends, fam, can't wait to see you back here live like we like to do. And take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you on the floor.
You've been listening to the No Shave Man Cave.
If it's pro wrestling, we're talking about it. Unless we see something shiny and wander off into the woods. If you hang around long enough, we'll eventually come back. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Fire off your comments and be sure to leave us a 5-star rating, and we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hit us up on Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at No Shave Men Cave. Y'all be cool, and we'll see you next time on the floor.